Deja vu in Brazil, Temer caught in scandal, country braces for instability. www.thehindu.com Deja vu in Brazil, Temer caught in scandal, country braces for instability. Yesterday, 11:38 p.m. Brazil, Latin America's largest economy, has been coasting along comfortably with record low inflation for a decade and healthy foreign direct investment to sustain the path of recovery from a recent recession. But the Lava Jato anti-corruption movement that rocked it 3 years back seems to be a long way from delivering on the promise of democratic and transparent governance. Inquiries into public fraud by politicians and captains of business have brought skeletons tumbling out of the cupboard. When Dilma Rousseff, then president, was impeached last year, it had appeared that the worst was over. But now the incumbent president, Michel Temer, has been indicted by Brazil's top prosecutor. The script is sickeningly familiar. Ms. Rousseff was implicated over a scandal in the state-owned oil giant and its construction arm. The accusation against Mr. Temer is complicity in the authorization of heavily subsidized public loans for a private corporation in return for political patronage. He has vehemently denied the charges and termed the Lava Jato campaign, which he had once sympathized with, a witch hunt against political representatives. The course of the investigation against Mr. Temer is as yet uncertain, but his position appears far less precarious than that of his predecessor. The requisite vote in the lower house of Congress to authorize a criminal trial may not materialize eventually, as most members are themselves facing investigations. Representatives from his center-right Brazilian Democratic Movement Party and Ms. Rousseff's Workers' Party have called for the resignation of Mr. Temer, but indications are that few have the appetite to precipitate the situation further. Moreover, upon Ms. Rousseff's downfall, Mr. Temer, who was vice president then, had been catapulted to the country's highest office. With the next presidential election scheduled for 2018, the search for a successor may not be easy. This continuing turmoil puts at risk assurances of reforms to Brazil's labor laws and generous pension system. The controversial raising of the retirement age was seen as a major push to overhaul what was one of the world's most envied social security programs. Arguably, the Brazilian left leaned too much towards an unsustainable populist agenda in the heady years of the commodities boom, but its counterparts on the right appear ill-equipped to position themselves as a realistic alternative despite attempts to attract overseas investment. Like other nations in the region, Brazil badly needs a strong center that is not tempted to tilt at the windmills of populism. That is the best chance of ensuring accountability to the people and engagement with the rest of the world. Comments. Visit website. Mr. Modi in Israel, he reaffirms special ties. www.thehindu.com Modi in Israel, he reaffirmed special ties yesterday, 11:36 p.m. while welcoming Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Tel Aviv. His Israeli counterpart, Benjamin Netanyahu, said his country had awaited the visit for 70 years. Since the birth in 1948 of Israel, whose admission to the UN India subsequently opposed, Israeli leaders had always sought full diplomatic ties, and once the Narasimha Rao government established full diplomatic ties in 1992, Israel pushed for full acknowledgement of bilateral relations on the international stage. As a result, the significance of Mr. Modi's visit to Israel, as the first Indian Prime Minister there, was the trip itself. This was reflected in the camaraderie between the two Prime Ministers, who spent practically every waking moment together. The agreements signed during the visit on water, agriculture, space and science and technology are important no doubt, but not path-breaking. They simply underscore ongoing cooperation in such fields, as well as in the defense sector, India being one of the biggest buyers of Israeli military equipment. Cooperation on cyber security issues, discussed by officials during Mr. Modi's visit, constitutes a breakthrough of sorts, given that Israel tends to limit cooperation in this area to a few countries. A decision was announced to upgrade ties to a strategic partnership, signaling a final step to total normalization of relations. Perhaps this is why Mr. Modi's address to Israelis of Indian origin in Tel Aviv, with a promise to address visa issues and improve air connectivity, had an emotional pitch different from his meetings with the diaspora elsewhere in the world. However, the best friendships are judged not just by bilateral bonhomie, but by their ability to discuss uncomfortable issues. With Mr. Modi's visit, India has, for all purposes, de-hyphenated its ties with Israel and Palestine, something Israel has always wanted. In a clear repudiation of the Indian practice of keeping Palestinian leaders prominently in the loop, Mr. Modi made a point of not visiting the occupied territories. The departure was more prominent in the joint statement that contained a short paragraph on the Israel-Palestine peace process, with no reference to UN resolutions, the two-state solution, or even the need to resume talks that Mr. Modi had spoken of during the visit of Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas to India just a couple of months ago. It would have been more in keeping with India's stature on the international stage and its particular leverage with all players in West Asia, especially on Palestine, had Mr. Modi made a visible attempt to extract from Israel a commitment to the peace process. India's evolving ties with Israel no doubt are based on pragmatism and the desire to eschew hypocrisy, but Mr. Modi has infused his visit with a symbolism and substance that could well mark a point of departure in India's moral support to the Palestinian cause. By way of comparison, US President Donald Trump visited Palestine too when he went to Israel in May. Comments visit website.